firefighting. As I said, the Czech Air Force Sokol much used for that with the Bambi bucket underslung. And just last year there was a very good example when there was a major blaze in a national park in the area known as Bohemian Switzerland, in the very north of the Czech Republic, close to the German border, and they were called upon to help fight that. Now, back into formation, and shortly after they pass the display station, at one center point of the display line, they'll be braking. Number 2 going first, followed by number 1, and they'll be coming back in to conclude this really, really well choreographed and well executed display. W3A Sokols of the 243rd Helicopter Squadron of the Czech Air Force. And thanks to their crews, headed by the pilots, Lieutenant Colonel Petr Safarik and Major Antonin Petru, PhD. Thank you very much there to Andy Marlowe, who along with George Bacon will be one of the other voices you hear, giving you the latest from the showground during the flying display today.
I'm going to land over there. I think what
Well, the latest weather report is that the cloud is overcast at 4,000 feet, which is pretty good news. It is, it's improving. However, looking at the data that we've got from the Finnish Air Force, it requires a false show with a minimum cloud base of 4,500. So after the first manoeuvre, we should have a pretty good idea of what we're about to see. But whatever, what we're about to see is very impressive indeed. The Finnish Air Force, Boeing FA-18C Hornet, on the roll. transitioning into a barrel roll. And setting up now for the slow speed parts. The aircraft is accelerating to about 120 knots, which is about 140 miles per hour, at a height of 400 feet. And this is a really good example of high alpha or high angle of attack. The nose of the aircraft is approximately 30 degrees above the trajectory of the aircraft. Reservists that give up to 28 days per year to ensure that the defence of their nation and their allies continues. Now, a big part of the training for the Finnish Air Force Hornets continues to be operations from road strips. The idea, of course, being that that provides another opportunity for aircraft to remain operational in time of war should their main bases be put out of action by enemy strikes. And since Finland became a full NATO member in April 2023, cooperation between the Finnish Air Force and its allies has only increased. Soon after that, Finland sent 4 of these Hornets to Romania for a NATO air shielding mission alongside RIAT Typhoons. And earlier this year, it deployed 4 Hornets to Iceland for the first time for quick reaction alert and air policing missions on behalf of the Icelandic government. The Hornet gradually being phased out with the selection of the F-35A, of which Finland is buying 64, but nonetheless, as you can see, it remains a very, very capable aeroplane. This in the hands of Captain Jyri Tuomainen from Fighter Squadron 11, the F-18C Hornet.
Just
yeah.
They all signed their own picture taken.
So, rotary wings take centre stage now, and an aircraft that's become a regular sight at RIAT from the German Army. It's the NH Industries NH90 TTH, the Technical Transport Helicopter.
Oh, I know, did you get her face?
begin with for a few turns in the hover before a maximum power climb. There are two main variants of the NH90, which is a multinational collaborative program today within the NH Industries Consortium to be found Airbus, Leonardo and Pocket Aero structures. Those versions of this, the CH, Tactical Transport Helicopter, and there's also the NFH, the NATO Frigate Helicopter, which we see in the Static Park from the Royal Netherlands Air Force. And the NFH provides the basis of further specialised versions which now entering service with the German Navy, the Sea Lion Transport Helicopter and the Sea Tiger Frigate Helicopter. And once the NH90 reaches the apex of that climb into a much 90 degrees nose down. Degree line, followed by a wing over to the left. This will be followed by two flight masts, punctuated by what they're calling a top-up, where they will go from 200 to 700 feet back down to 300. These manoeuvres are a demonstration of tactical applications for this aircraft. That's not an airshow manoeuvre you see there, that is to protect the aircraft and the crew from ground fire. And the German NH90s, which have mainly replaced the Bell UH-1D Iroquois, the famous Huey, in that Air Arms service, have been very operational since they began entering service in 2006. The main roles are troop transport and search and rescue, plus if they're suitably equipped they can undertake various maritime missions as well as providing convoy protection. Showing the minimum radius capability of this aircraft, followed by a reversal. Very shortly to come into the hopper, with a demonstration of hovering to the side within the crosswind limits of the aircraft. So the aircraft will be hovering to the left and right at about 35 knots, well within the limits of 45 knots that is set for this aircraft. The German Army Aviation Arm, the theatre speaker, deployed four of these helicopters to Afghanistan in 2013, so then it all was activated. In fact, since then also been used on multinational operations in Mali. But they've also been expressed as a very important role for civil society in general. And then, they helped out with places cleverly set up in the states of North Rhine-Westphalia and Rhine-Westphalia. Training area at airframe. Self-protection, it has an advanced self-protection suite of ECM and CCM and chaff flare dispensers. Survivability, it has 4 separate analog and digital channels in the fly-by-wire, and of course, if it all goes wrong, crashworthiness. The composite structure is combined with highly effective flotation gear, giving it the best in-class level of crew survivability. More than 508 90s of all variants have been delivered so far. You can get about 20 fully equipped troops in one of the action transport helicopters, or they can transport loads internally and externally. And the latest operator of the 58 months of the year is the Spanish Navy using a shipboard configuration with folding road blades for ship stowage and the big Dutch undercarriage. Well, this one, you can see it's got auxiliary fuel tanks either side of the main cabin. This is the same one of the 2 helicopters they're flying today as they did yesterday. On one side it has a Royal International Air Tattoo sticker, on the other side it says Tiger Feeder Display Team, and that's a reference to the fact that these helicopters are stationed on the Lüneburger Heide, the Lüneburg region of Germany. Spiral trying to be followed by a 90-degree nose over.
Not going to attack, let's get the
This aircraft is in a very similar category as originally designed Unit 2, but has doubled the payload and about 2/3 of the overall weight. Into the hover before it gives a bow to salute you all. The crew of Captain Tim Ackman and Major Carsten Foyt with the German Army NH Industries NH90 TTH. It takes a whole force to attack space. Join us. Incidentally, that was some of the output going out of our big screens around the site, which are providing a host of useful information as well as bringing us spots like those from some of our commercial partners during the day here at RIAT. So do avail yourselves of those as you walk around the show site today. But now, lining up on the next item at the end of the runway is the first of several contributions from the Italian Air Force, our friends from their Flight Test Centre, and Mike Colombo is once again back with us at RIAT 2025 to tell you all about them. Mike, a very good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you for the warm welcome, and thank you to RIAT. But not just for having me here, but for building year after year what is an dynamic and the world's greatest celebration for military aviation. The Italian way. But after a quick G-check, I could return to the center stage, this time upside down, leaving proof of the total control delivered by its cutting-edge digital flight system.
Oh, look at me. Look at them. Get up the board! But you're going by the road tournament this time. Next, Sensor Loop showcases technology escaping Canada Delta design. us slow flyers above the wonderful, colorful, overflowing airspace. It is the RIAT 2025. But let the rhythm of the sky continue. Full power racing right to the edge of Mach 1. Full mental power, just shy of the sound barrier. It's raw typhoon power and elegance combined. Half to the name in our left.
Ja, voll ng Bahn.
Inverted turn at the top and gear down at the low. And even only a pilot including off the typhoon would attempt. For everyone else, it's a touch of technical magic around of the display.
Ja, speel aan de minigame niks erop. Ja, klaar, af en toe maar goed, dat ben
Four nations
decades of technology, one purpose dominates the airspace. From the Cold War to today's digital battlefield, the Typhoon has evolved, adapted, dominated, until the next generation takes flight. This is still the benchmark, the pride of the Aeronautica Militare, the gladiator of the skies, Eurofighter Typhoon.
He wasn't old. Yeah, when he went out, he pretty fast.
Wait and wheel, this is the end of display.
The ball's going easy like 300 and that one, by the way.
Well, a fantastic routine from the Italian Typhoon, but the first of 3 solo displays from the Italian Flight Test Centre, and Mike will be back to talk through the next one in just a moment. But in the meantime, it is of course possible to meet quite a few of the pilots at the Meet the Pilots area. And the programme over the course of the rest of the afternoon as it stands is at 12 noon you can meet the US Army Apache crew who's come in from US Army Europe and Germany. The Finnish Hornet crew, we saw one of their display pilots in action earlier on, will be there at 1 o'clock. The Italian Frecce Tricolore aerobatic team, once they've displayed, will be available to meet and greet at 2. Then it's the crew of the Saab Jas 39E Griffin at 3 o'clock, the German 400 at 4 o'clock, and the historic helicopter Sea-King crew rounding things off at 5 o'clock. But now for the next display on the schedule, it's straight back to our good friend Mike Palumbo.
Thank you very much, Ben, again. Well, we have come here not just with aircraft, but with people, with ideas, with pride to what Europe can achieve together. So pioneering flight training, to pushing the boundaries with the latest technology, the Aeronautica Militare stands for a commitment to security, to innovation, and to those shared values that give our nations flying side by side. But over the next few moments, I'll still be your guide to what our teams and our machines can do, from quiet precision to raw power, from graceful maneuvers to uncompromising air defense. But you're seeing it all. But Eyes in the Skies is this year's theme, but eyes on the skies as well, on the skies, because a demo of their power doctrine is about to unfold right here, right now, above our heads. So this is Mike Palumbo speaking, and on behalf of Commander Lieutenant Morgan Luisa and all the staff from the Reparto Spedi Militare di Volo, welcome aboard C-27 J Spartan now. But bringing this truck in is a cargo transport, I know, but it will be flown the Italian way as well.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'll take you that. I'll be thank you. Wow.
Big boy, like you know.
Oh wow.
Who's got to fix it? I'm walking.
Here, the Spartan Bay needs an introduction. Its performance speaks loud and clear, a perfect mix of power, aerodynamics, structural strength, and a spark system. It's not just a transport aircraft, it's a machine capable of pulling off maneuvers you never expect from its class. Bubble rolls, tight turns, high climbs, even a full loop, but the Spartan has gone. A proud history and exciting future ahead. One of the most effective multi-role transport aircraft. Has been proven in the field, the trust of the market is the aircraft you call when others simply can't go any further. Bigger than smaller figures, the C-130 Hercules, but leaner, more versatile, more cost efficient, and thanks to broad interoperability, it slots right in alongside a whole range of other aircraft. Senza che no. parts. Transition maneuvers are displaying themselves. Great essentials, spectacular. At the heart of every move lies a new dialogue between pilot and crew. A key figure in this dialogue is the co-pilot, or power manager, who balances the engine thrust and fine precision. In guiding phases, they must reduce power to avoid overspeed, but still give enough energy to maintain the rhythm of the flight and keep the dance alive. Now, performing the big wing over, a powerful sweeping turn that will draw an inverted parabola. Enter speed 1 meter, engine up, 500 feet. It's not all about the
yeah, I like those two. Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go. Lovely day, isn't it?
It is a quite nice day.
The sun's out now.
How's your pictures turn out?
They turn out nice.
Right.
And when you were faced crisis like Ebola, COVID-19, this aircraft was there, more than a tactical relief.
I'll show you one.
A lifeline for the count. Now, speed 105, 105 knots. Altitude just under 2,700 feet, drops down, gear down, now begins. The steep approach. Nearly
I had a nice day. It's pretty, isn't it? I love the air show.
It's fast, it's controlled, it's built for tough landings in hostile terrain.
I will drink my tea soon. It's been so exciting. Yeah. So it's now to get those all over this.
Casey's up for this, you know, it's not allowed. Nice, isn't it?
What's the battle check? I'll tell you about the battle, isn't it?
I'll warn you on this, enjoying yourself.
The Royal Australian Air Force has flown this part of the world a decade from the searing heat of the outback to the tropical rainforest of Papua New Guinea. Operated by the 35th Squadron is known affectionately as the Wallaby Airlines. It fills the gap between helicopters and heavy lifters like the Atlas and Globe Master, short runways, rough streets, remote islands. The aircraft gets in and out fast, delivering real-world effects when every second counts.
Brandon, it's just me and you, right? It's just me.
Now grind, turn, descend, passing traces that continuous, precise and coordinated figure in the air, resembling it globally. No maneuver happens by chance. Every turn, every roll, mapped out, calculated in behalf. That's how the roll physics transforms into art.
You think
Art
to
by
5 minutes, 5 minutes.
Are you doing it over 5 minutes to those? 5 minute intervals or something?
Mate,
You're gonna tag yourself in, mate.
honestly, Elliot, I will happily go get you some glasses.
the aircraft on the brightest wing will about to spin in carrying more R-30 pleasure. Think of them as the perfect testing ground test bed, but they are where we try out, integrate different systems and operate in the ever-changing environment we live in. They are the bridge between the world we know and what's coming next.
I will not be.
Someone in
I've never taken me until the action.
You'll have dance when you get the shoes.
Verticalizing again, the C-27 takes part and over here 2025 sky.
And Brandon, well done again. See the colour, we can play some minigames.
You would do that without the water.
Now half to the next to our left, big yet nimble, surprisingly agile, the Spartan dives into the maneuver with a precision that defies everything you would expect from a transport aircraft. There's nothing else like
I was just saying that to you, man, but it's scaffolding. They've got two sleeves on it.
Now, watch closely on the way down. Speed is 250, 150, flaps position 1. Ramming the socket forward, pulling back and stick holding 2.4 G to full force. Nose to heaven. For cars, try to adjust arm.
It's good when I think it's good both eyes.
Well, who says that transport aircraft cannot steal a show? It delivers supplies, but sometimes also few surprises for the audience. Sharp 270-degree roll to the right, to turn surprisingly left. And then you were born here in the UK, designed to break away and catch the enemy off guard. Legacy of John Derry. His signature is stamped on the silver ribbon the Spartan's hedge across the skies of Fairport.
Oh, me very.
Up, down, nearly 4,000 feet a minute. The Spartan makes his own runway. Sand, snow, broken ground, he doesn't care. This isn't just fun, it's problem solving with wings. And this is how the crew drives the demo flight to an epic final.
Oh my god, they've got you great. Give it so crazy. Well, I bought them to buy us because
Touchdown and backtrack landing. And it's time now to meet the crew. At the helm of the C-27 J Spartan, never one to follow the rules, Francesco Buscemi. By his side, unflappable Michele Minato, co-pilot and power manager, balancing force with precision, and deep within the cockpit, watching every dial, every signal, Giuseppe Civica, the mission sentinel. This is the Spartan crew, broadcast channel to the Royal International Airshow 2025. You all, thanks for your attention. Grazie, grazie, arrivederci.
Mike, thank you so much. A stunning presentation of the C-27J, as ever. And you've still got another solo display to come later with the Master.
Sure, I'll be here. Sure. See you soon.
See you soon. Thank you very much to Mike Palumbo from the Italian Air Force Flight Test Centre.
we'll take this.
good to have representation from the global aerospace industry on hand at the Royal International Air Tattoo, and it doesn't come much more potent than this. It comes to us from Saab at Linköping in Sweden, and it's the latest variant of an aircraft we've seen often in the Air Tattoo flying display over the years. The aircraft has achieved significant export success, as well as attaining a fine reputation with its home nation's air arm. It's down at the far right-hand end of the runway and cleared now for takeoff by the RIAT air traffickers. This is the Saab Yas 39E Gripen, always known as the Gripen E.
They got some nice flying.
Is it a different way? Return.
I heard it.
Yep.
He was coming straight back.
Yep.
Return.
Coming on. And, yep, I was going to say I would put them back on center. Where is he?
I mean, you can now.
Oh!
Very smooth takeoff there. 63 turn to the right, followed by reposition 8 to Dayton, which is pretty much in the centre of the rail. It looks like we are. So what's different between this Gripen E model, which is the single-seater well, it's with much more capable radar. It's powered by a more powerful engine, the General Electric RM16, which gives about 30% more thrust than the earlier C model. It also carries about 30% more internal fuel. And that extra power means it can accelerate far more quickly at high altitudes. The airframe has been strengthened, meaning the full 9G capability is available, and it can carry a greater weapons load to boot.
We got the smaller piece.
Yeah.
You might be able to see the underwing hard points, of which there are 10, able to carry up to 7 of the latest Meteor beyond visual range aircraft missiles and 2 within visual range Irish Kings, and it comes past the Now, the Swedes always sought to build in a high degree of operational flexibility into their fighter designs, with the need to operate the extreme climates in the Scandinavian winter, and also, as we were talking about with the Finnish Hornet earlier, to operate from roads if necessary in wartime. So excellent airfield performance is a given for the Griffin, and we'll see a pretty short landing. The aircraft will also be turned around very quickly between missions. It's only taken about a quarter of an hour, and it's operating in the air-to-air role. But a short landing, you see here, is part of the development requirement, which was the aircraft to operate from snow-covered landing strips just 500 metres. All of this will be achieved without reverse thrust, without a drogue tube, just a pair of enormous carbon fibre brakes. And the aircraft flown for us today by Saab test pilot Martin Donaldson, who will be at Leap Pilots area towards the eastern end of the showground at 3 o'clock today.
I said to her, let all the rest have them. I don't want a side thing, I just want a rich stuff to just stick to the left together.
You've got 5 guys.
I didn't want to get home.
You've got to stay here, but once come back, that's it, somebody goes.
Yeah, I can build the wall. The 19 flats. I'm so excited. I'm thinking of taking you very soon. No.
Enjoyed myself.
I wonder what the taxi is.
So now, as Martin Donaldson taxis along the runway, we're getting ready for one of the real high points of the RIAT 25 flying program. It's the first of our national display teams for the day, and the man who's going to describe it to you is Maggiore Giovanni Lopresti.
Oh, the second photography taking it. Oh, that's the one landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning on behalf of the Aeronautica Militare and the Italian Air Force official aerobatic team of Frecce Tricolori. Welcome to Fiknwd for today's official exhibition during this RIAT International Airshow 2025. E permetteteci l'occasione con qualche parola in italiano di salutare tutti coloro che parlano la nostra lingua, in particolare tutti i nostri connazionali e gli amici del club Frecce Tricolori che sempre ci seguono con grande affetto nelle nostre trasferte in Italia come all'estero. The few words in our language were to salute the Seven people and to say a special thank you to our fellow countrymen and to our fans of the many clubs of Frecce Tricolori enthusiasts which always follow us with affection in Italy and abroad. This is the 65th aerobatic season for Frecce Tricolori, a very important season marked by this important anniversary. We are going to celebrate it in September the 6th and the 7th in our home base of Rivolto, Friuli Giulia, northeast of Italy. Frecce Tricolori official aerobatic team is an Italian Air Force squadron whose assigned task is to represent various professionalism, technology and team working capability of Italian armed forces while exporting made in Italy worldwide. Everything is ready, a few moments to go. It will be split take off in 2 sections for the aircraft of Frecce Tricolori. They just lined up and performing takeoff checks and then run up the pressurization, ladies and gentlemen, the green, white and red of the Italian flag.
That's good though, isn't it? They call it the
In this moment, takeoff thrust setting, brake release, ordered by the team leader, and then go! Acceleration during this takeoff roll, rotation will be 110 knots.
ladies and gentlemen, also the second section is starting as acceleration on the runway. The rotation of the time will be at 115 knots. Depends on the weather and could be downgraded as prevailing weather conditions worsen. Certain in fact, are able to perform the high program, the complete one, when the cloud base is at least about 4,000 feet above the ground. When the cloud base reduces to at least more than 2,000 feet, we perform the low program, where elements with vertical development would be excluded. In the worst condition of 2,000 feet of ceiling and at least 5 kilometers of horizontal visibility, the program will be flat, which consists of horizontal maneuvers, neither surge, and a fly path with no separation within the main formation, except for the solo splitting. White smoke hole has been ready, so get ready to welcome the people. The next will be the first and only separation where the formation is going to split into 3 sections. The formation is turned closely to the left with its typical rock formation, the well-known diamond of Pesce tricolore. At the edge of the diamond, the formation leader, point number 1, Major De Luigi Grappa. In the very center of the diamond, point number 6, the first slot as a tail in the back, our solo.
shower.
Should we just enjoy something on the solo?
Another roll by the solo, point number 1 from the right, is now going to show us how to perform a roll with 8 aircraft.
Yeah, I can see that.
The rotation of the axis is performed with a 55 up like relative angle of a giant spiral. It looks like there's just one huge aircraft is performing the maneuver, but the change of this moment is following a linear line in order to maintain the information. So now, alternation of solo information is given the best reason to the exhibition of Purchasing Glory, and so 8 aircraft to the left, 1 coming to the right. So once again with another maneuver along the display line, 350 knots, wide smoke, inverted fly, roll with the display center, from Amsterdam flight and then to go up, then inverted while the solo is looking for the formation across the canopy. The information is coming again, points ready to perform the next maneuver and ready for major ground pass. Standing, from the left, again, the solo comes to this arrow, roll, series. You can solo, lean to the right, the information straight in front of us. Moments they will split into 2 sections and prepare for the maneuver symbol of passion among women and men of the Italian Air Force. We're one of the few teams in the world performing this maneuver from bottom to top. So let's get ready for the emotion, because this will be the heart of Fiknwd. And it's going to be accompanied by the magic voice of Andrea Bocelli. same direction, main formation is coming again. Ready to introduce you second left and right wingman. Captain Leonardo Leo starts rolling at the same time and repositioning and second wing at the back of the position. The solo pilot decides then nose down and then going up, climbing vertical, like right in response of the main formation and insert in the separation of the two sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the breath of the Arizona. An historical figure by Francesco Tricolori, dedicated to a place that used to be the meeting father of the first pioneers of the tunnel aerobatics, where 200 medics and friends without any military formalism. And this time, the warm heart of the Arizona is dedicated to all of you. The basic crossing of Francesco Tricolori, let's go to right of the line. So it's coming again with this next maneuver. White smoke, the moves our back to the belly and going up, ascending to the blue sky, the white sky actually today of Fairport to 4,000 1,000 feet. The air is becoming heavier and heavier over the MD-59 and at the end, no way, the ground force. In the winter. Zero speed for an instant and then down and down and down. Small, less than 10, this is the tail side of stop. Frecce tricolori. To show you the maneuver sample of all the fighter pilots with the second section drawing a giant bullseye, while the first section stretched in a line after shape like an arrow, while the third one the toe. Therefore, let's introduce him as our pony number 10 at the second season of Frecce Tricolori solo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to clap your hands for Major Federico De Cecco. And now look at your right, because the main formation is coming again. Pony from 1 to 5 in a line, enjoy this double roll from the voice of Major De Luigi Raffa. Number 2 gets Emanuele Presunzi and 43 gets Giovanni Moreto rolling around second wing and then again gets to the original position while Pony 4 and 5 roll around there. What's the minimum distance in flight between one aircraft and the other?
Let's give it a
So
cool
don't
video.
miss the chance to take a picture of our Mark Charlie 39 tricolor family during this low-speed thunderstorm with aero brake. Thank you.
Hello.
8 aircraft of the main formation are now reconfiguring and being wing formation for the last maneuver of the show, the Alona. The one that which will proudly spread the longest Italian flag in the world. And as a tradition is accompanied by the music of La Turandot by Puccini and the unforgettable voice of Maestro Luciano Pavarotti.
Oh, he's been enjoying himself. He's been recording now, you know. When you're recording videos, Caleb?
After this display represented the result of an over 60 years aerobatic tradition. We proudly do it to show our flying style on behalf of Aeronautica Militare, the Italian Air Force, as the worldwide Italian ambassador. There are 10 pilots flying in the Frecce Tricolore in complete formation, but one of the secrets of our team is that the most experienced pilot is here on the ground. Former wingman and then first slot of the team, the commander stays at the center of the display line with the role of directing flight in radio communication with the formation, ensuring safety and spectacularity of the show. The moment has come, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the commander of the Italian Air Force aerobatic team of Frecce Tricolore, Lieutenant Colonel Franco Paolo Marocco.
So they admit my cousins is
Last week, I think I was too hot.
well, the new one's up too. Yeah, it's some vessels.
Fun?
Are they good?
Yeah, last
Come
week.
on. They've got the speaking by the way.
I see.
It's going to be another
What is?
split landing, but in two sections, so actually a formation landing with the first section touching down right now. That's the perfect occasion to introduce you once again our pilots one by one, starting from our leader, pony number 1, Major Pierluigi Laspa, then the first left wingman, pony number 2, Captain Emanuele Barnuzzi, then pony number 3, Captain Giovanni Morello. Then the second left wingman is pony number 4, Major Oscar Del Do. Pony number 5 is Captain Leonardo Leo.
One, two. Oh, we haven't got the back. 0, 5.
Touchdown a few seconds for the second section leaded by our first slot, pony number 6, Captain Simone Pampanillo, then pony number 7, Captain Luca Pozzani, pony number 8, Captain Luca Battistoni. It wasn't flying today, but let's clap your hands please also for our second slot, pony number 9, Captain Alessandro Samarina. Last but not least, our solo pony number 10, Major Federico De Cecco. And Frecce Tricolore's flight continues on the web. Follow Italian Air Force, the Aeronautica Militare on all major social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, X or Instagram official pages. Follow as well our team on Instagram with the official account, Frecce Tricolore. Join us again in Italy abroad, attending one of our engagements during the 65th aerobatic season. And that's all from us today. We really thank you for your attention and we say grazie for see you tomorrow. Arrivederci. And thank you to all the members of the brilliant Spectate Tricolore. Great to have you back at RIAT for 2025. And you'll be able to meet the team as we meet the pilots area towards the eastern end of the showground in 2 hours from now at 2 o'clock. Next up, we're going to be getting the RIAT Chinook into the air before our next display item, which also comes from the Italian airport.
Who's a Chinook thing for you?
Thank you very much, Ben.
He's left with Birmingham jackets. Let's go up the mat.
This way.
What you can do, there's one that's a bit so we'll get on a bit the aperture. I'm literally based.
Okay, well, with the Chinook having departed, we're straight on with our next item, and Mike Colombo is once again here to tell you about it. Mike, over to you.
It was miles.
Thank you, Ben. Well, with each leap in technology, a new era of life unfolds before us, where control no longer rests solely on independent hands, but ascends into digital cloud. It is cybersecurity that now stands guard over the skies, steering the course of tomorrow's aviation, digitalization, real-time data. This is the language of modern air power, the native language of the master. And it's time for Major Dario Del Nero to show us exactly what this magnificent master of P346 outcome is capable of. Prepare to be surprised by agility and performance of this remarkable jet. Now, for the captain enthusiast and the audience, well, the master spans just over 31 feet, stretches around 37.5, weighs just under 21,000 pounds at takeoff. It can cross over 800 miles an hour, yes, that's beyond Mach 1, and it's got an impressive range of around 1,600 miles. It sits 2 and can be fitted up to 6,600 pounds of sternum tools. Not bad for a jet as many missions training, isn't it? But this is the master, born as a trainer, refined through years of flight testing, sharpened by complex system integration. Today, it's flying with a solar display, precision and energy, but it is not just a performance, it's a purpose. Because this very aircraft will soon take its place at the heart of the destination of everybody's team. The future of the French Tricolore begins right here. Just the scene the present, and now we're about to witness the future.
I would have one of those something. Let's search for the phone.
No, it's all Gacy flying.
Yeah, I mean, we can knock on the ground. That's why you put the photo. That's right, you just stick it in the amazing. It is that.